When someone stops calling, when the messages fade into silence, when the once familiar voice becomes an echo of the past, it shakes something deep within. That's when the mind starts whispering, "Did I do something wrong? Did they forget me? Do they still care?" But in Zen wisdom, this silence means far more than absence. It is not always rejection. It is not always indifference. Sometimes, it is the universe speaking through stillness, showing you truths that words could never express. In this video, we will explore the profound Zen meanings behind when a person stops calling or messaging for a long time. You will learn what their silence truly means, what it teaches about attachment, and how understanding this can transform your peace of mind forever. Stay until the end, because once you understand this, you will never suffer over anyone's silence again. The silence that speaks louder than words. In Zen teachings, silence is not emptiness, it is communication beyond noise. When a person stops reaching out, your mind instantly fills that gap with stories. Maybe they're angry. Maybe they lost interest. Maybe they replaced me. But Zen says, the truth of things is found not in the noise, but in the space between. Their silence may not mean neglect, it may mean transformation, it may mean reflection, or simply, that life has pulled them into a different flow. When the bamboo stops swaying, the wind has not disappeared, it has just moved elsewhere. In the same way, when communication stops, energy has only shifted form. The wise do not rush to fill that silence, they sit with it, because silence is the teacher of truth. The mirror of attachment. The pain of being ignored often reveals not the absence of others, but the depth of your own attachment. Zen explains that attachment is the rope that ties suffering to the heart. When you need constant messages, calls, or attention to feel validated, you have placed your peace in the hands of another's behavior. But true connection flows even without words. It doesn't demand reassurance, it trusts the unseen bond. Ask yourself, why does their silence disturb me so deeply? Is it because I miss their presence, or because I depended on their attention to feel worthy? Zen teaches, when the lake is still, it reflects clearly. Only in the stillness of silence can you see your own dependency reflected back. Their absence reveals your inner noise, their silence gives you the mirror you avoided looking into. Not all silence is rejection. In the modern world, silence is often interpreted as disinterest, but Zen wisdom views silence as sacred space. A person who stops communicating may be healing their own inner chaos, searching for meaning beyond words, protecting their peace, or simply aligning with a different rhythm of life. Not every separation means loss. Sometimes, distance protects the energy that connection once drained. In Zen, silence can mean detachment without resentment. It is a quiet way of saying, "I wish you peace, but I must walk my own path." So instead of asking, why did they stop calling? Ask, what are they seeking in the silence? And deeper still, what am I being called to learn from it? The universal law of energy shifts. Every relationship is an exchange of energy. When one person's vibration changes, the connection adjusts. If someone pulls away, it may not be personal, it may be energetic. Zen wisdom explains that when your energy evolves, some souls naturally drift, because they no longer resonate with your frequency. This is not punishment. It is purification. When a tree grows taller, not every leaf stays until winter, some fall gracefully, making room for new life. In the same way, when you rise in awareness, some people fall away, not out of cruelty, but out of cosmic necessity. Their silence is a sign that the spiritual contract between you may be complete. Not every connection is meant to last forever, some are designed to awaken you and then fade into stillness. Silence as a spiritual test. When a person doesn't reach out for a long time, it tests your emotional maturity. Do you chase? Do you complain? Do you spiral into anxiety? Or do you pause, breathe, and remain centered in peace? Zen wisdom calls this the path of the middle way. It is the art of not clinging, not resisting, just allowing. When you can accept silence without resentment, you rise above the emotional storm. You see that the universe removes certain voices, so that you can hear your own. The greatest spiritual masters teach, when the world grows quiet, your soul begins to speak. Their silence is not your punishment, it is your preparation, it is the universe whispering, be still, and know your worth does not depend on anyone's attention. When silence means emotional withdrawal. Sometimes, silence hides a deeper emotional truth. It may mean the person has emotionally withdrawn, unable to face communication without conflict or guilt. They may be carrying internal struggles they cannot yet voice. Zen compassion teaches us to release the urge to interpret or judge. Everyone walks through storms that others cannot see. When they retreat into silence, it may be their way of surviving. This is why Zen emphasizes non-attachment with love. Care for them in your heart, but do not force your presence into their space. In silence, you practice compassion without control. You love without needing to possess, you care without expecting to be noticed. This is the highest form of love, detached yet unconditional. The mind's addiction to clarity. One of the hardest things for the human mind is to not know. When a person goes silent, your mind craves explanation. It wants a story, a reason, a closure. But Zen calls this the hunger of the ego. It seeks to label what is beyond its understanding. True peace begins when you stop seeking certainty. The mind says, I need to know why. The soul says, I trust the flow. Let silence remain unlabeled, let it simply be. The wind does not explain why it stops blowing, it just moves where it must. Likewise, not every silence needs to be solved. Some silences are sacred, they carry growth, not closure. Silence reveals true intention. Zen says, the one who stays silent shows what words were hiding. When communication stops, you finally see the truth of a person's heart. Were they truly connected to your soul, or merely attached to convenience? When the constant messages disappear, you learn who truly valued you beyond routine. Do not grieve what disappears in silence. What stays quiet and distant was never deeply aligned. Real bonds do not vanish, they evolve. temporary ones fade the moment attention shifts. So take their silence as revelation, not rejection. It frees you from illusion, it exposes truth without confrontation. The Zen art of letting people go. When someone stops calling or messaging, most people react by chasing, they plead, they overthink, they lose self-respect. But Zen masters teach the opposite. When someone becomes distant, bow inwardly, send them peace, and release them gently. Detachment is not indifference, it is emotional intelligence. It means you honor their journey even when it no longer includes you. The river does not cling to the leaves it carried yesterday, it continues flowing toward the ocean, so must you. When you stop chasing, you reclaim your power. When you stop waiting for a message, you become the message. The power of non-resistance. The more you resist silence, the louder your suffering becomes. Zen teaches the power of Wu Wei, non-resistance. It means doing nothing against the natural flow. When someone pulls away, do not fight the current, flow with it. Trust that whatever is meant to stay will stay effortlessly. If silence is meant to end, it will end naturally. If it continues, it means the cycle has served its purpose. This mindset transforms pain into peace. You no longer see absence as rejection, but as redirection. Reconnecting with yourself. When others fall silent, it is an invitation to reconnect with your inner world. Use the quiet to meditate, reflect, and rediscover your essence. Zen wisdom says, lose the noise of others, and you will find the music of your soul. Silence is fertile ground for spiritual growth. It purifies your thoughts. It heals emotional wounds. It strengthens your connection with the divine rhythm of existence. So, instead of waiting for their call upon your own wisdom. Instead of checking your messages, check the message within your heart. That is where true peace begins. When they return after silence. Sometimes, people return after a long period of silence. They reappear as if nothing happened. Zen teaches you to respond not with bitterness, but with awareness. Do not rush to reopen what peace has already closed. Observe their energy. Are they returning with presence or with habit? Forgive, but do not forget the lesson silence taught you. Silence showed you that your world continues without their noise. You became whole in their absence. So when they return, let your heart stay balanced, open but not naive, calm but not cold. This is emotional mastery through Zen awareness. Transforming silence into strength. In Zen, silence is not something to fear, it is something to master. When you stop fearing silence, you gain control over your emotions, your peace, your energy. Silence becomes your fortress. You no longer depend on others to feel seen or valued. You learn to sit with solitude and call it serenity. This is the ultimate power, to stay calm when others disappear, to remain radiant when attention fades, to smile when no one calls, because your peace no longer needs permission. The Zen reflection. Ask yourself, What does their silence awaken within me? What am I being shown about my own expectations? What if silence is not about them, but about me learning to hear my own truth? Zen wisdom turns pain into enlightenment. When communication ends, wisdom begins. When noise stops, clarity arises. Their silence may be the blessing your soul needed to evolve. When a person doesn't call or message for a long time, don't rush to assume it's the end. Sometimes, it's the universe giving you space to grow. Sometimes, it's protection. Sometimes, it's liberation. And sometimes, it's simply time. The Zen truth is simple. Nothing that belongs to your soul can ever be lost. Silence only separates what is temporary from what is eternal. So when they stop reaching out, don't chase, don't beg, don't crumble. Bow in gratitude for what was, and step into the stillness of what is. Because in that stillness, you meet yourself again, and that is where peace begins. If this message touched your soul, pause and breathe for a moment. Let silence be your teacher today. Subscribe for more Zen wisdom that awakens the mind and calms the heart, because true peace is not found in replies, it is found in understanding silence.